Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at how tier magic in Overlord even works, and which requirements one needs to meet in order to use a certain tier. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's get to the topic at hand. In the new world of Overlord, magic is divided into 10 distinct tiers, hence the name tier magic, with an additional super tier magic on top. And just to avoid confusion, while the theocracy of Slain likes to call them the 11th tier of magic, it really is its own thing altogether. And other than the fact that it is still a magic spell, it has little in common with regular tier magic. For once, just one caster in an entire group is able to cast one single spell of tier magic, and then your entire raid party is blocked from using this truly highest tier of magic. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, this hierarchy governs the power and accessibility of spells, meaning what tier of magic you could use in what situation. And again, it all depended on the potential of its caster, which of these magics you can even unlock. Now in Yggdrasil Online, the game world from which Nazarick and of course our Overlord originates, there were around 6,000 spells available. And regular players could learn up to 300 spells by leveling up, so gaining 3 new spells per level. But Ainz, thanks to the ability to conduct a magical ritual with his Dark Wisdom skill, is able to pick up more spells. However, this system hasn't been confirmed to work in the world, in the light novel and in the anime yet. Still, Ainz has access to over 700 spells, just from farming and learning them in Yggdrasil Online. And in the new world, advancing through the magic tier requires progress as a magic caster in magic caster classes, just like in Yggdrasil Online. So leveling up in warrior related classes is generally seen as useless for learning new spells. And again, a new tier of tier magic, will unlock every 7 levels. And it's ranging from the 1st to the 10th tier, so at level 7T. You are already capable of casting every single regular spell if you have the right conditions fulfilled. And this is also one of the reasons why Ainz Sulgon insisted that only NPCs of the level of 70 or above are used as bodyguards for floor guardians, simply because they could use the full spell roster in order to counter enemy players. And unlike Yggdrasil Online, where the game mechanics limited the potential of magic and balanced it out, in the new world, the rules differ quite a bit. Magic's power and accessibility vary significantly, making high-tier magic rare, revered, and depending on whom you're talking to, downright mythical. While beings from Yggdrasil Online, like players and NPCs, can wield high-tier magic with ease, most New Worlders are, to put it simply, eternal noobs. And now, since the base rules are set, I will go over every single spell tier and explain its basics. And we will start with a completely new tier of magic, the 0th tier. And again, this is completely new and unique and original to the new world. And it represents the simplest form of magic, comparable to mundane tricks or minor utility spells. And those who wield the 0th tier of magic are akin to students and scholars, and they are not seen as fully fledged magic casters. And this tier caters to simple daily tasks and requires minimal talent to learn it effectively. But anybody, even the most brutish of warriors, could potentially learn and somewhat master this tier if they invest the time and the effort. And in order to give you some context what you can do with these types of spells, you can produce paper out of thin air with it, or rather condensing your mana in the form of paper. But just because this is a weak spell and not used in combat, doesn't mean it is useless. And for the new world and its relatively weak inhabitants, this kind of magic is actually the most useful to most of them, since it produces measurable effects, can be used productively quite easily, and also can be learned and to a certain degree mastered by anyone. Next we have the first proper level of magic, the first tier of magic, and it's commonly used and unlocked through the levels 1 to 7. And this is easily the most common and most accessible proper form of magic that also existed in Yggdrasil Online. And while anyone can theoretically learn it with enough effort, it requires significant time and training, and we're talking decades, for those without innate talent and interest. But its effects are way more potent, going over mundane item creation or minor effects, and many spells could be used in combat, in medicine, and in construction. And casters of just the first tier of magic can earn a respectable income as specialists. So they are professionals already. Next on we have the second tier of magic, and it is unlocked through the levels 8 to 14. And spells at this level are achievable only by the talented, meaning only one single person among an entire town, usually 1 in 5,000 or 1 in 10,000, is able to even reach this tier. But in turn, mastering this tier grants its caster both prestige and a very comfortable livelihood. Think of healing magic, of roasting entire goblin groups with fire magic, of building walls from scratch by forming hundreds of bricks directly from the soil, the ground, the water, and your own produced heat, without the need for a kiln or for resting periods. And this also explained why mankind in the New World has so much more advanced tools and buildings than we did in our own medieval and Renaissance periods. And now we move on to the third tier, and it starts at level 15 and goes up all the way to 21. And it is reserved in the New World for the brightest and most talented magic casters, and third tier magic casters are exceedingly rare already, and they are highly regarded. And just to give you a concrete example, the idea that Nabe, a young adventurer in her late teens or early 20s by the looks of her, could use the third tier of magic shocked the people in the Adventurer Guild immensely. And next on, we have the fourth tier of magic, with a level range of 22 to 28. And this is the pinnacle of achievement for most magic casters in the New World, even under the guidance of Fluda Paradane the Triad Wizard, a caster with 2 centuries of experience under his belt. A person that is literally one of the most skilled human casters in existence. His disciples rarely even achieve this tier at all throughout their entire life. Hence why Fluda Paradane, among other things, was so saddened at Archer, a girl who could have reached this tier and who has reached the third tier of magic already, had left his academy. And finally we arrive at the fifth tier of magic, with a level range of 29 to 35. And few New Worlders reach this level, but among the exceptions are the legendary 13 heroes, who are celebrated as the pinnacle of human achievement in magic. But since we know that many of them weren't human at all, looking at you, Evil Eye and Platinum, we can say that this is basically the limit of normal humans. No matter how hard they train, they can barely reach it. But still, there are naturally talented people among the natural human population of the New World that can achieve this kind of power. For example, Kilat Custodio, the much more brighter sister of Remedios Custodio, and her queen Kalka Besares were both able to reach this tier. But still, the sixth tier of magic, which goes from the levels 36 to 42, has been achieved by Fluda Paradane, and again, this is a realm of magic likely beyond what a normal human is even capable of ever reaching. And while we don't know it for sure, it is likely that Rigrid bears Karu, the necromancer that defeated Evil Eye, is also among these select few natural-born humans that can actually use them, that can use this tier of magic. But they have prolonged their lives significantly and are both over 200 years old, so in their own lifetimes it is doubtful that Fluda or Rigrid could have achieved the 6th tier all on their own with just this limited time. And finally, we arrive at the realm of myth and legend, the 7th tier of magic, with a level range of 43 to 49. And while humans cannot naturally use the 7th tier of magic, the Slain Theocracy has developed large-scale rituals to still access it. meaning they pour just so much mana, skill and talent into smaller but much more complex spells, and then add these individual effects up, that they add up to the 7th tier of magic and its effects. But such ceremonies are dangerous for both the caster and whatever they are trying to cast their magic on. And the 13 heroes were also believed to have used the 7th tier of magic naturally, which again points to Platinum's magic and other powerful casters. And while Yggdrasilian in nature, it also stands to reason that the 2 humans that have joined the 13 heroes could have potentially learned and mastered this tier of magic as well. But again, they are not natural-born humans of the new world, they are players. And then the 8th tier of magic comes with a level range of 50 to 56, and it is downright fantastic to normal magic casters. But still, new world entities like night liches can cast spells of this tier on their own. But potentially Slain could, if they center this type of magic around one of the rituals and put a very capable cast of the 5th tier at its center, be able to actually access it. But again, the entire nation would need to pour significant resources into this ritual just to cast a single spell once, at an even higher risk to everyone and everything involved. For example, for the Miku priestesses, it would still be exceedingly dangerous to cast this type of spell, or rather, just to attempt it. Next in line, we are reaching the realm of Yggdrasil exclusive magic, with the 9th tier of magic. And it is accessible for beings with a level of 57 to 63. And this is where the spell Grasp Heart, Einzelgon's favorite spell, falls in. And except him, only Deckham Hugin was able to actually use spells of this tier in combat, as a natural-born being of the new world, but still he has player blood inside of him. And finally we reach the 10th tier of magic from the levels 64 to 70. And this climax of conventional magic, the 10th tier spells, are exceedingly rare, and rarely only used by Dragon Lords, or rather they can use the equivalent of 10th tier magic by using wild magic, and emulate the effects of the normal tier magic, but again, wild magic is a different thing entirely. But offspring of players, like Deckham Hugin, were actually able to cast and learn them naturally. And finally, we reach super tier magic, the 11th tier of magic. And again, it is known by Slain as the magic of the gods, and super tier magic is a category beyond the established tiers. And at level 100, you could, as a player, unlock 30 of these kind of spells in total, one for each level reached. And so far we never have seen anybody but Ainz use this kind of spell, though there exists an equivalent of this type of spell with Dragonlords like Platinum and Brightness Dragonlord being rumored to possess spells that rival or even surpass super tier magic. But Draudila Auriculus, the Queen of the Dragon Kingdom, would need at least 1 million souls to pull this spell off because of her diluted dragon blood. But still, she has dragon blood inside of her, which speaks volumes about the strength of the spell if an additional 1 million people are needed to fuel the spell. I mean, just for comparison, the God Emperor of Mankind needs fewer amounts of souls in order to be fueled and sustained for an entire day, and he powers a lighthouse for an entire galaxy while being basically just a gilded corpse. And we actually have seen Cure Elium Los Malvar fire the equivalent of a world item spell at Einsulgon, and he only survived because of his own red orb, much to the anger of the Dragonlord, because again world items are seemingly condensed wild magic, and world items can counter wild magic and other world items. And with that said, now it's your turn. What do you think about this kind of magic, the magic system, and the vast difference in strength in the New World compared to Yggdrasil Online? Let me know it down in the comment section. And with that said, please check out my German channel, my fantasy channel, and if you don't want to listen to my voice or accent, but are still interested in the things I have to say, I have made an AI channel narrated by almost a woman, where I use AI voiceovers for my videos, and the channels are all linked down in the video description. Also, please check out my Patreon if you want to support me beyond just leaving a like or sub. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, thanks to my Patreons for supporting this channel, and as usual, I say my special thanks to Other Daddy Other, ASK, Bad Guy Yee, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon S, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Din Pep, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feralchivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Le Louche Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Lovefraser, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pentum, Personage, Ruru, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc War Boss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Sonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.